Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 177, I had the immense pleasure of having a conversation with my brother from another mother on the other side of the pond, Will Williams. Yes, he's been on before many times. Well, this was his fourth time. Fourth time. Yes, we were basically chewing the fat about everything that was going on in the United States. Some of the things he's been doing with regards to like how he's getting into his acting work and what he might be doing to help other people get into acting and the film industry over in the States, as well as sort of American politics in general. Nice conversation, good chat, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to him again, rather than leaving it over a year and a bit. So yes, I'll get him on next month for sure. So yeah, please remember, subscribe to the podcast. It helps us out immensely, and yeah, enjoy the show. Until then, peace out, and yeah, enjoy. Bye bye. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! This is episode 177. Oh, my Lord. Yes, it come a long way. We have the welcome return of my brother from another mother, my U.S. mother, where she is. Yes, Willis Williams. Yes. Will, how are you today, sir?
I'm fine, my brother. I am fine. I'm tired. I'm tired.
it's like, yeah. Look,
I haven't had coffee yet.
he hasn't had coffee yet. Didn't like look when like Will's been like going, yes, we must do another episode. All right, okay, yeah, no worries. Like, yeah, let's do it one weekend in like August. Like this was yesterday on the Friday the 13th. He replied and went, let's do it tomorrow. I was like, okay. I was like,
Well,
now look at
a reason.
Yes.
There's a reason.
Okay.
I'm doing a local production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's taken up a lot of time. And show goes on stage on August 26th. So next week starts like tech week. It's just gonna be hell. So that's what's going on. So my days are just swallowed up. This, tech week.
Man, all I've got to say is with regards to like how you've been like going since we last spoke, you have like, how can I say, you have been on the rise with the whole acting side of things, like voice acting, like, you know what I mean? Like extra, like standing on Werewolves Within.
Yeah, I was standing for Sam Richardson.
Yeah.
25-day shoot. It was cool. It was really, and I mean it figuratively and literally, because we shot outside most of the time, and it was like 20 degrees or something like that. So yeah, it was cool. It was cool in every way possible.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Was that your sort of first big film production, like where you're like, you know what I mean, having this much time on it, or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for that, the most I spent on a film was maybe 4 days. So 25 days. I think the most time I spent before that was The Dead Don't Die, but I played a zombie. So it's probably about 4 days. That was summer of 2018. Not that.
2018.
Yeah, because it came out 2019, and then of course 2020, like everything shut down. So
no, I was going to say you've been a lazy son of a bitch in 2020, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like.
I know it's 7 months of purposely not just sitting around, watching the news, expanding my drug kingpin empire, stuff.
Oh my god, man! Like you need this coffee badly. That's like, what? You're just like, oh, okay,
Well,
what is going on?
I need the coffee badly. 18 days ago I started doing intermittent fasting. So,
Right.
and I've been using an app, called Fastic. And a friend of mine, Matt, did it. He started in January. And by the time June came around, he like lost 60 pounds.
Mm,
So basically, the way I have it set up in the app, um, I can only eat during an 8-hour window. And then
mm,
there's 16 hours where I'm fasting. So basically, my window is 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And during those 16 hours after 7 p.m. and before 11 a.m., the only thing I can consume is water, sparkling water, tea, and coffee. Last two without milk or sugar.
okay. Okay.
So
I,
basically, yeah, the way I have it set up in the app with my height, my weight, and my goals, I should be losing about 2.2 pounds a week.
yeah.
So it was really hard the first day because I'm like a late night snacker. So the first day I did it, I'm like, yes, I'm like, yeah. And then by like 10:30, I like went through a whole bag of Doritos. It was bad. It was bad. I was like, nacho, yeah. So yeah, I've been kind of hardcore with it. So basically, I had to hack it. So it's like, okay, if my cutoff is 7, then I try to eat as close to 7 as possible because it'll hold me.
Mm-hmm.
First night, the last time I ate was at 3 p.m. It wasn't good. First day, because by the time 9 o'clock came around, it was like, oh, like my stomach. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this shit. I'm like, those Doritos look good as hell. It was so funny.
My
Yeah, it was
God.
bad. It was bad. It's like if you're stuck in a desert and you find like a cooler full of water, you just like kind of inhale it. That's kind of how it was.
But it's like a bizarre desert because, okay, whereas a desert there is like a scarcity of like resources or anything like that. I bet you're only like half an hour away from any sort of takeaway. Like and like yeah, there's a fridge there. So it's like, yeah, you're walking through a desert where you can't eat anything because or drink anything, like which might be oh so tasty and calorific at
Yeah,
all.
it's like
So
it's a
it's like, yeah.
mirage and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Just in the desert, there's a Humvee over there, bucket of water over here. I'm gonna go to the water. I'm like, that Humvee. Let me go get to this water. Yeah.
Um, so like this is the thing, like so is it working out? Are you losing the 2 pounds each and every week or
Well, to be honest, like it's been just about 3 weeks. I haven't weighed myself since I started. Because I almost want to mind trick myself and have it be a surprise, like, oh shit, I lost that much. So that's, but I'll tell you this. I mean, other than right now, overall, I've had a lot of energy. A lot of energy. I mean, you can't really see it now. I just woke up half an hour ago. But I'll give you an example. When I work um, on a film or a show, I have to be in the city. I live 2 hours north of New York City. So let's say it's been like this for the past few years. If I rap, when we rap at like 2 or 3 in the morning, let's say we rap at 3, I shoot straight home. So I'm not gonna get home till around 5. So usually there's like a midway point when I drive up. There's like a gas station that's open all night. So I'll stop. I'll get like a Red Bull or Mountain Dew or like chips or something like that to keep me awake because it's iconic State Parkway, where you and I used to mostly go down to the city, that one highway. In the
yes.
middle of the night, just no one out. It's just deer and probably like serial killers or something. I don't know. But I mean, it's very hard to drive being basically the only car on a highway for 2 hours and you're just trying to avoid deer and just looking out for deer. And there's been some times where I've gotten drowsy driving. So since I've been doing this, I've done 2 late night shoots,
Mm.
like 2 days in a row of getting home like between 4 or 5 a.m.
God
I've
damn.
never stopped at the midpoint. I've been doing that for years. I just fly straight on up. It's like I don't need to get a drink for energy or anything, or I don't need to get like something for like a sugar rush. So I know I have more energy from it just from that alone. I mean, so it's working. I mean, like I said, I haven't weighed myself, but as the overall how it's affecting my body energy wise, like just the fact the first night, I'm like, I'm gonna stop. I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'll just do it. And we just drove up with it the next day. It was the same thing. I'm like, not gonna stop. I don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, this is the thing. Have like with regards to this intermittent fasting, have you been doing other exercises, like going to the gym or anything like that?
Just walking and stuff like that. I canceled my gym membership during COVID, because obviously
Yeah.
I pay a monthly fee if I can't go. And it's still kind of, I mean, the gyms are open. I'm still kind of weary of that, especially because every time I do a job on set, I gotta have at least a minimum of 2 COVID tests. So I'm constantly testing. I probably had about 72 tests since last October. A lot of
Yeah.
Q-tips going up my nose.
Yeah.
So because of that, I mean, and plus, like New York, the numbers are going back up because of this Delta variant and stuff. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but probably the next couple of weeks, New York City alone, for you to go inside a restaurant or a movie theater or a gym or any type of business, you have to show your vaccination
Yeah.
today, and a lot of people are up in arms about it. I'm like, don't want to carry the card. Stay your ass home. Basically, if you're not carrying the card, more than likely you're not vaccinated. You're putting people at risk, and New York's been shut down for a long time. Especially with the film industry. We started filming again early to mid October of 2020, and we're still rocking and rolling. I mean, a lot of other cities were shut down for a long time. I mean, LA just started being full open for filming in the past couple of months, maybe. So during that time, New York was open. Everybody was coming to New York. Hey, New York's open, jobs in New York. But on the flip side, Broadway's been closed for so long, and a lot of Broadway performers have been out for a long time, since March 2020. You could go to places like Australia, because it's like, yeah, you can go to London, but Australia, they took COVID seriously from day one. So I
Mm.
never thought Australia would be a roaring place to go if you're a Broadway performer. But that's where a lot of people have been going. So
Yeah, but like this is the thing. Australia has had lockdowns put in place recently, so it's like one of those things. Wait, was it 2 weeks ago they had protests? In was it Melbourne or Sydney? I can't remember which city it was, but it was more sort of. It was like freedom protests, like yes, like let us out of our freaking houses because, look, don't get me wrong, I think we've all entered that sort of period of time with this lockdowns and everything like this. It's like, okay, look, look, you can't
yeah,
just keep just doing this lockdown bit. It does it's not stopping this thing. It like look, it's changing. It like this like Delta variant and everything like this. It's changing. So whatever strategy went down before, we're gonna have to do something different because I am fully vaxxed and look, I have not put it out there on Facebook like I'm fully vaxxed. No, stop it, people. Just like get your jabs, get on with your life. But it's like you don't need to sing it for the like from the rooftops. It's like right, but I can understand why some people have issues with the whole sort of like passport thing, like your vaccine passport, because look, we had this NHS app, which would like sort of like go, okay, if you've been in like close proximity with anyone with COVID, it will send you a message, and then you meant to self isolate
right.
for 10 days. But then they went, okay, this in like they went, okay, we're gonna like, well, we've made it a little bit too sensitive. It's like, okay. So it's like, right, so they're gonna take down the sensitivity. So it's like, right. So it doesn't like some of this doesn't make any sense. And like right now in the UK, you don't need to wear a mask. It's not mandatory. The only place it's mandatory is on public transport, which, you know what I mean, if you're stuck on the train, if you're stuck on a
Yeah,
bus,
you're all
it's
crammed
under,
up in that tube. Right?
yeah. But it's just some of the times I think a lot of this stuff now is being done for show, like with regards to like mask wearing and like, yeah, with that's I'm wearing a mask. And because it's like, yeah, because it's the appropriate thing when it's not really being done for kind of the right reasons, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I mean, with more basically, the mask mandate has not returned lockdown like it was, in the peak. Because remember, we got hit with it first. We spread that love out through the country. So yeah, but you can still go around in public, without a mask. Um, some businesses, especially the small businesses, they'll have a sign like "Please wear a mask if you come in." But most of the businesses, the signs say you don't need to wear a mask if you're vaccinated. But therein, I think, lies a problem because anyone can just walk on the street like, "Yeah, I'm vaccinated," bitch, and just walk in, and it's you don't know. I mean, and plus, there's still plenty of juicy Walmart videos throughout the country where people are flipping out. Still, they're being asked to wear a mask. You know? But yeah. I mean, all the restaurants just opened up again in New York City and stuff and everything, and it's all that shit. The thing about the card is, it's just a little card.
Mm,
It's got, you know, the signature of the physician, whoever it was that gave you the shot, and it's got the date that you took the first shot, the date you took the second shot, if you took Pfizer or Moderna. So a lot of people there's steps on my freedom. I don't want to carry a gun. Like you're already carrying a fucking driver's license. You're already carrying cash. And then if you don't want to carry the card, guess what? New York State has an app, and we all know you're fucking carrying a cell phone. So it's like, really, what's the problem? Like, is carrying that card gonna affect your sleeping habits or stuff? Whatever. It's like, man, I got the vaccination card. Man, I didn't pay. It's like,
mm.
carry a fucking whatever. Don't complain that you can't get in the Yankee Stadium to watch a game if you refuse to bring a card. Especially, there's no excuse because there's an app. I've already used it. I've used it several times to get. I went to an art show in Brooklyn. All I did was just pull up a QR code, like boom, right there. That's it. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And then the people, vaccine, government's tracking us. Asshole, you're already carrying a cell phone. You're being tracked anyway. It's like just complaining for the sake of complaining, man. It's just kind of how I see it.
Mm. No, I hear that. No, I hear that. And like I can understand it. And look, this is the thing. With regards to like okay, with regards to the whole getting vaccinated and everything like this, like look, if you spoke to me around about November, yeah, October and November, like my response would be like, look, I think I even said this to you when we like last spoke. It's like, look, I will get the vaccine, but I'm not going to be the first person in the line. It's like, yeah, you waves of people go ahead of me. I'll wait. See, just like I wait. Okay, yeah, no zombie apocalypse here. Okay, man, got my vaccination done. Like the only thing, what only gripes me about it, I know I'm vaccinated. I've gone through it all, but like, yeah, you say it's no big deal to carry a card. I agree with you. Same thing with the app. But the way it's been kind of like sort of deployed, and I've seen this with the NHS app, where it's like, yes, just like, right. It's it is so like it can be so like, yes, okay, you've got 10 days. Yes, you got to like isolate for 10 days. And like it's like on it to a point where it's like, okay, if you've got an app which is like going, yeah, you need to isolate for 10 days so severely, why are you sort of like bringing like, you know what I mean, rolling people back out there if you would like, if you're concerned about the danger level, if you get what I mean? So I don't understand that. So it's like, right, come on now. I understand things have to go back to normal, and like I'm down with that. Like I want to just be able to go out and just do what I need to do. Like no one sort of like monitor and track me and just get on with it. Had the jabs, bam, I'm vaccinated. But if you're kind of just doing this sort of back and forth where, yeah, oh, this app's telling you you need to isolate for 10 days. And like, like you hear so many people like, oh, yeah, I'm being told to isolate to such a level where it's just like, yeah, you may as well be locked down again. Why are we doing this? Why are we playing this silly game? Like, pick a lane, like stick to it, and like don't like do this half in, half out measure. You know,
People are going nuts.
oh, I can imagine.
Both of my kids are vaccinated, but I know parents that they are purposely not having their kids vaccinated because they want to see how their friends' kids react to the vaccination. So a lot of parents are doing that. But then on the flip side, what do you mean my kid can't go back to school? I mean, I'm like, hey, remember that last time you had polio? Oh, wait, you didn't. Vaccine. When you had mumps and the measles? Oh, wait. I mean, it's, and I got some friends that are like way off the deep end, like this like big government conspiracy to try to control people, and I'm like, yes, I got friends that actually think Fauci created the virus, and yes, that's what it was. Fauci created it, and then they decided to have a whole worldwide, you know, conspiracy, just so we can control the election. The whole world decided to help us out, kill off some citizens and be sick to help us with our election. I mean, I talk to some people, I'm just like, Jesus, in a library. It's, yeah. Help me,
No, like this is a thing.
help me focus on a lot of people.
Yeah, no, bro, yeah, I understand why you're super frustrated with regards to the situation and circumstance which is going on with everything right now. But like, this is the thing. Like, we are like globally, like we are getting closer and closer to light at the end of the tunnel right now. And people need to realize that. And like, yes, it's just going to take a couple of steps to like make that happen. Yeah, I understand where some people might like be hesitant about the vaccination, but let's just say, um, out of, if you just look at the UK, we've had, I think, 79% of the population now vaccinated and like, yeah, out of those millions of people, I don't think it's even cracked sort of like 5,000 people having any incidents with the vaccine, if you get what I mean. So it's like, okay, it's so ridiculously small at this present time. Even if it was 10,000, 20,000 people out of a population of 65 to 70 million people in the UK, you know what I mean? That is still ridiculously small. Like, look, people which have vitamin C, there's most probably more incidents of adverse reactions with that than, like, I'm not saying this as a doctor or scientist, but like, look, I'm just saying there most probably is more adverse reactions from something you don't think will give you an adverse reaction.
I mean,
You know,
everything's got side effects. I mean, you should take that aspirin. So everything's got side effects. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and everybody's just fuming over here. And here's the thing: if you don't want to take the vaccine, I'm cool with that. Don't take the vaccine. But then at the same time, wear fucking masks. It's not that hard. If you're so hell bent on not wearing a mask, then stay away from people. I mean, I don't know. It's just maybe I just think about other people's health too much. So it's just I'm not. I don't have that selfishness. Fuck everybody. Everybody's getting sick. That's just not me. It's like no. It's like I'm fully vaccinated, and in some places I walk in and wear a mask just to like make other people feel. So, shit, we're already feeling weird because my brother walking in the store. So
Like,
that's another another he's black. He's got a mask. Like he's a superhero or he's robbing the place. Yeah, who knows?
like, look, this vaccine, like this vaccine's good, but I'm not too sure how good it is against lead poisoning. That's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like, yeah, ah,
Like it's like for some people, the mask is tyranny.
like, yeah. Look, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, okay, I'm gonna be like, this might sound a little bit controversial. What I'm gonna say, okay, like the 6th of January when they stormed the Capitol and everything like this, and
Oh no! According to a lot of Americans, they didn't storm it. It was just a mild disagreement.
okay,
It
yeah,
was a disagreement. It was a disagreement because
yeah,
nothing is more relaxed than having, you know, Blue Lives Matter flags while
yeah.
attacking cops with those flags. I mean, there's no sense of irony in this.
No, no, no. But like, this is the thing. I heard many a person go, "Oh, there was a coup in the United States," and like, I, I,
What?
I, I was like, what? Look, okay, look. This is the thing. Okay, not like my heritage. It like, even though I was a born and raised Brit, my heritage hails from Nigeria. Now I have visited Nigeria in the midst of a coup. Like, let's say it wasn't a bloody coup from what I could see, but here's certain things which you can't get access to when a coup's going on. Free communications, like, okay, telephone lines being down. Back in the day when I was there, the internet didn't exist, but I'm sure that would be switched off. Okay, now, yeah, being able to get in and out of the country freely. Yep. Basically being able to use money freely. Yep. You like, none of these things were affected in the United States of America, as far as I can see. So people, when they went, yeah, it was a coup. No, 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 it wasn't a coup. Okay, yeah, it had a bunch of how can I say, uh, crazy people there with buffalo hats, like going around places where I'm like going, oh my lord. Uh, any other time, I would imagine you would have got shot. Like, yeah. And there was one poor woman who did get shot. I'm going to say that because I don't like, I wasn't there on the floor. I can't really like speak to what went on. And yeah, but I'm amazed more people didn't get shot and killed because, yeah.
I am amazed too. I can tell you if like I don't even have to finish the sentence, following sentence. But imagine if all those people that went to the Capitol, storming the Capitol, look like me and you, and we could just end that there.
But like, hey, but like, this is the thing. If you like throw your mind back to remembering about, okay, just after like George Floyd, okay, look, here we go. Look, if you looked at how the police officers were equipped during that and during the six, it was considerably different. I don't know if they were told this was going to be a like chilled affair or whatnot, but full riot gear, George Floyd, and from what I can see, it was like high vis jackets and cycle helmets outside. From what I can remember, I might be wrong about that, but that's what it looked like to me from a couple of news reports I saw. Like, I watched, it was like, okay, so it was like the equipment level was totally different. So it was like, okay,
And here's the alarming thing about it. I mean, this was talked about for weeks on Twitter. So I mean, they might as well just put out billboards and shit. I mean, because think about, I mean, obviously, this something along this line was organized. It's
mm,
been talked about for weeks on Twitter, in public, not even hiding it. Plus the fact everyone had a shitload of gear. They had signs, they had flags, they had all this stuff. Like, I don't know if breaking into the Capitol was planned, but definitely, if you look at the history of tweets, having a huge crowd at the Capitol was planned.
mm. No, this is the thing. Yeah, like, having a huge group at the Capitol, yeah, was planned. But like, if it was going around on Twitter, I would have expected the same sort of level of response, police wise. If you get what I mean, just like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a huge protest, and we don't know like exact, like we've seen stuff on Twitter, but we don't exactly know what the sort of mental attitude's going to be on the day. Okay, should we bring the riot gear or should we leave it behind? Like, if I was a police commander, I'd be like, yeah, like, bring the riot gear. Like,
Yeah, you didn't have enough cops. The
yeah,
cops that were out there were not well equipped to do plain
mm,
and simple.
yeah. You're just
I mean,
like,
I've seen more well equipped cops at like a Jay Z concert. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah,
yeah. It like, put it this way, I think with the United States and stuff like this, it's going through, how can I say, a weird time. I'm not too sure what sort of causing this sort of weird time, where the sort of divisions are coming from. Like, it's quite easy to like point at sort of partisan news to go, yeah, it's Fox, it's like, oh good God, what, like CNN,
yeah,
like all of these different news organizations, and go, it's their fault. But it just, I think it's just, that's a little bit too easy. I think that's a little bit too lazy, if you get what I mean.
yeah. I mean, but I mean, it's just lazy overall. Like, if some people assume they just watch CNN and stuff, especially you see the stuff I post on Facebook. I mean, I can't even tell you what the political messages are. They're just fucking insane. And I like to drop the debate out there, get people talking about stuff. I mean, there's only so many times you can share pictures of kids and I made this dish. You gotta talk about some real shit sometimes.
Mm,
You gotta talk about stuff that make people uncomfortable. But it's like, look, if you want to still be my friend, you need to talk about some uncomfortable shit that I see through my eyes as a person of color in this country. You know, but man, it's just
mm,
I, I don't even know. But people are like, oh, you just watch CNN? I'm like, no, not really. I watch CNN. I also watch BBC. And this is always funny because I usually get the comment, well, BBC is not an American network, so why would you watch it? I'm like, precisely. Because they don't have a fucking chip in the game. It's like objective news. Remember objective news? You know, but I do a whole mix. I do CNN, BBC, Wall Street Journal, The Economist. Like but it's a mix. It's like different things. It's not just I just watch Fox. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
mm,
like, okay, so you watch the Paranoid channel. Okay, so that's what it is. Where they just like freak you out. Because basically, if you watch Fox, the message is clear. It's not your fault. It's the Mexicans' fault. It's the black people's fault. You know, it's like Fox has a great way of convincing poor white people. So stop having with they have a great way, and just the party overall. The party has a really nice message in making poor white people think that they are better than any other race that's middle class or higher.
mm.
And that's it. I mean, it's like that's basically I watch Fox, just to get an idea, and it's just like I just watch it. Like, do any of these people like read or anything like that? I mean, everything they say, like you could just do like a research on Google or go to a bookstore and you can like, yeah, that's not really true,
Mm.
but also keep in mind most people don't understand that Fox registered with the FCC years ago as an entertainment channel and not a news network.
Mm.
A lot of people don't seem to realize that. So because they are registered as an entertainment channel, they don't have to adhere to strict news fact finding procedures because
Yes.
they're an entertainment channel. So they can have puppet shows and shit, magic shows, Peppa Pig, or so who the hell knows. But it's not classified through the FCC as a news network. So they can basically say whatever and just be like, oh shit, there's flaming hail and tornadoes in the middle of Times Square. And even though you're looking out the window and it's not there, but it's like, but it's the news. So why would they lie to me?
Yeah, you know where they picked up that little trick from?
No.
At WWE, because when it was like the World Wrestling Federation and stuff like this, they turned to them and went, wait a second, if you're a sports organization, you got to be this. You can't have a selected winner before the actual competition. And then went, oh yeah, no.
That's not how sports works.
Yeah, it's like, no, we're the WWE now. Like partly the Worldwide Federation, like for animal welfare, was like going, you can't have that name. I went, okay. And partly because of that, they went, okay, yeah, we're entertainment. We're here to entertain
See,
people.
now I didn't know that because I stopped watching it like before they switched over to WWE. It's like one day I'm just like,
Mm,
it's a WWE, but that makes sense. But it's basically the same thing.
yeah.
If you're entertainment network, you can just whatever. And
Well,
I mean, it's don't even get me started on the Fox. But I'll tell you this: Trump's no longer in office, right? But honestly, and it sucks to say this, but especially in my area, if I see a pickup truck or a house with an American flag on it, especially trucks, because they get like full size flags and have it like flapping, while they're driving. If I see a house or a truck with an American flag on it, I almost instantly assume that they're either Trump voters or racists. That's
no,
just how
but
it is now.
yeah,
Every person of color in this country, when they see that now, like before Trump got in office, it's like America, yeah.
yeah.
Now it's like probably a racist that lives there, especially on the trucks.
No.
Especially on the trucks. I like how they got the Punisher skull, on these like Trump voter trucks, and it's like, you ever read Punisher comics? It's like
Yeah,
you're not really getting it. You're not really getting it. It's like
yeah.
what you represent and you like look up to. The actual Punisher looked at the opposite of that. Whatever.
Yeah, but like
Whatever
that's
makes your
kind of
truck look pretty.
yeah. No, but that's kind of sad because look, because when I first came over to the States, like 94 and 95, where like we met in the glorious year of 95 in the camp of Hayden and Marks. Like,
I was
yeah,
just talking to someone about that the other day, like literally 2 days ago. I'm like, you got to treat. It's like these city kids are crazy. You got
yeah.
to scare them. That's how you keep them in line. We literally 2 days ago talked about all the stuff we did to keep these kids in line, other
Yeah,
than strangling them.
yeah, but this is the thing. Like, my point is, like, look, with American flags outside the house and everything like this, and like, you know what I mean, it was like it was for someone who came outside of the United States and stuff like this, seeing that as a regular thing, it was a charming, endearing quality, like that sort of symbol of kind of unity throughout the whole United States. I'm like, maybe I'm looking at it from a little bit of rose tinted glasses and maybe a little bit more of like of optimist back then, like, you know what I mean? Slight naivety, but it still had this sort of thing of, yeah, like there's one thing what brings us all together, and that is being American. That is being in the like United States and being proud of that simple fact. That yes, we are American. Look, uh, so it's like sort of celebrating your flag, like symbolizing you guys as a people. It was like a good thing. Like it seemed like a wonderful thing. But now when you're saying it's like, yeah, that's now
Yeah, if you're a person of color in this country, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but just about every color person I know a whole bunch, you know, kind of related to a shitload of them.
mm,
But yeah, it's just like when you talk about the flag, it's just different. I mean, I'm sure like this country had like World War II, like the Vietnam War. I don't know about the Vietnam War. This country's split on that. Let's say World War II. I'm sure during that time American flags everywhere. The only time I really saw American flags everywhere in my lifetime was after 9/11.
mm,
Everyone had flags. Like, everywhere. All the houses had flags. It was very trendy because at the time, Sirius XM wasn't really like a thing. So people still had antennas on their cars.
yeah,
Like, and it was very common to see like little flags off the antennas. That was like a big thing. Like, and you just see cars up and down everywhere, you know, probably like for a couple of years after 9/11, where it was everywhere. That's the last time I saw flags everywhere in my lifetime before Trump got in office. After Trump got in office, it's like, yeah, there were flags everywhere. Everybody wasn't flapping flags, but usually you'd see a house, you'd see Trump, and there's an American flag. Okay, and then there's like the Trump flag, or my favorite, Trump Pence feelings. That's a good one. It's a really nice family oriented, and I already have my own issues with Trump, New York City kid, just with Central Park Five. So
Yeah.
I've seen him as a racist since '89. But just the fact that anyone would have merchandise of any kind, politician's name on it. Politician. I mean, when Obama got in office, all black people weren't running around with Obama T-shirts and Obama flags and stuff like that or whatever. I mean, yeah, we were pretty happy, but at the same time, more like, I gotta get that Obama flag, whatever. But it's just, I've never seen that where a politician, like, just had so much control over people. And I'm like, I gotta have this person's face on a T-shirt. I gotta have his name on a flag on my house and on my vehicle, just on my lawn. It's like, it's not even an election year, but I just got the flag on the lawn and the sign on the lawn anyway. It's just wow. It's like, no one should worship any person in power that much. Like, and then people defend this man. I'm like, okay, so you're defending a rich person you don't know. Like, was Trump at your table Thanksgiving passing you a bowl of biscuits or something? Is there something I'm missing here? You guys boys, like, you play dice shit? It's like, I'm not gonna kiss the ass of some rich person I've never met. It's just ridiculous.
Well, like what I would simply say is this. Okay, look, well, to sort of touch on the whole, like, pickup truck and everything like this. If I was over in America and living there here and now, I won't lie. Like, I've seen the Ford 150 Lightning, like, pickup truck. I want that shit. If they had that here in the UK, I want that. I want that shit.
That's the used to.
Oh, look, yeah.
You need like 2 jobs. You need 1 job just to pay for the gas.
Yeah. Regardless, I'll be in that sort of realm. But talking about, like, people having the flag out and, like, for a politician then like this, all I've got to say is it started with Obama with regards to that sort of next realm of sort of like celebrity politician type thing in our sort of modern
JFK, honestly.
Well, you could say back then,
well,
the reason why,
Obama, but that's because Obama was such an anomaly. I mean, it's like, I didn't buy Obama merchandise.
No,
I can understand why people would. It's like,
I hear you.
Person that's president.
Yeah, I hear you. But, like, this is the whole thing. If you apply many of the sort of strategies Obama applied to it, you will pick up more than just support for your campaign. You build this sort of, okay, not so much a cult sort of mentality. Now, you can say a little bit of a cult mentality of, like, going yes, and you get elected. Now, when you marry that up with someone like Donald Trump, who plays the celebrity game and he knows how to do that
very well,
you, like, basically, you get the same effect, and it builds to a point where, yes, you get that. And all I would simply say is, like, Obama, Trump, and whoever comes next, because that's what's going to be a next revolving turntable of these guys coming. And, like, I don't know where they're going to come from, and I don't know what they're going to do, but all I've got to simply say is watch out, because it will get a little bit more extreme on both sides. There is no sort of actual movement for getting into the middle, because, look, don't get me wrong, like, I look at the Republicans and go, what are you guys thinking, in many terms? But I look at the Democrats and go, you guys can't organize jack shit. You guys are, it's just like, and I kind of look at the American people and go, you had 2 choices, both of them bad in many different ways. And anyone who goes, oh, no, no, we are better, we are, it's like, no, no, no. Look at what your parties are doing. Look at how they're acting. Look what they're trying to put forward and do for you guys as a people. And you will be surprised, like, you know what I mean? You'll be surprised how similar they might be, and you'll be surprised at what sort of bad actions they've like taken, you know?
Yeah, and it's not really easy for Black voters in this country either, because a lot of people assume that all Black voters and
You're gonna
it's
have to
true
you're
if you think about it.
gonna have to repeat that. Well, you slowed right down.
Oh, damn it. Damn internet speeds.
Yep.
Uh, what I was saying is that most people assume that most of the Black people in this country are not Republican, which is true. But the reason is because if you think back, history has shown us in this country that most of the Black people in this country came from the South, which is very conservative. Black people historically, Black Americans, are very conservative. They have conservative like values and traits and stuff like that. But they tend to mostly vote Democratic because Democrats actually have policies that help Black people, like civil rights and like getting rid of voter suppression and stuff like that. And it's it's not easy. It's not easy because it's like the values of the conservative party are like this, which are aligned of a lot of traditional old Black folk, but it's like, but the policies that'll help me live in this country comfortably are on the Democratic side, and that's basically the thing. Like, it's like, I mean, and then you got like the third party voters. That's a totally different thing. Because to me, a third party voter, it's like, there's no way in hell your person's going to win. So
Yeah.
it's like basically just throwing away a vote. And to me, in my eyes, a third party voter is basically, well, I don't really care enough about your issues on either side. I'm just voting this way because I just don't like either person. That's fine, but at the same time, it's like me, I vote based on policies that will affect people who look like me in this country. I'm not gonna not vote for someone like people that don't vote for Hillary. I don't like Hillary because, Hillary. I actually had someone say I didn't vote for Hillary because she stayed with Bill Clinton while she cheated. Meanwhile, they're voting for Donald Trump, who's like is like a cheat fest.
No,
So it's like,
no.
just be honest. You don't want to vote for her because she's a woman. Just say she's a woman. Don't say you didn't vote for her because she stood by her man, but you're voting for a dude that's just like rotating chicks left and right. He's got like 25 like sexual harassment cases against him or whatever. But she had one married woman because she stayed with her man. It's, like, it's really weird. It's really weird. I haven't had one person. No, actually, since Trump got in office, I've known two people. One is mom, Eleanor, who actually have told me that they voted for Trump and it actually had something to do with policy. Like mom, for example, she's like, yeah. And most people that don't know, I am adopted. So when mom and I had a conversation about him voting for Trump, she actually gave me reasons. Like, she's like, I don't really support abortion. I know that if Trump's in office, he will put more conservative thinking Supreme Court justices in, which will probably get rid of Roe v. Wade. Do I agree with her view on that? No. But I understood if she voted for this man for an actual policy reason and not just, this is Trump. He's easy apprentice. It's just whatever. And anyone with any savvy mind knows that 2016, the election wasn't about Hillary. It wasn't about Trump. It was about the Supreme Court, because these people have lifetime. They're in there for life.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court affects everything. Think about it. Only Black people, for the most part, have had to have things happen in the Supreme Court for us to survive this country.
Well, like, this is the thing. Look, there's many things like with regard to what you've said. Look, if we how can how can I say it? Okay, if we start with, like, for example, with regards to the Democrats and their policies, yes, for I would say for a large percentage of the times, yes, they have helped people of the Black community, Latina community, and everything like this. But with current, like the current president who sits there right now, let's not forget they brought in some policies, and even Hillary, which how can I say, not severely affected the Black community. It decimated the Black community with three strikes and out. And look, people
Right.
would go, yeah, but like, yeah, Black community leaders were asking for this because of the crack thing. But it's like, okay, look, if someone's like a crack dealing drug dealer and everything like this, one, two, three, and that you take him out of the community and crime drops, I understand that. But if someone's like, yeah, just shoplifted three times and that's a three-time felony rap, boom, 25 years. It's like, you know what I mean? That is insane. And look, I will always sort of like look at that and like go, hmm. And with regard to like Harris, the vice president, and how she was when she was DA, she was not the best, let's just say, like to people of color. And
All
it's
these
like,
people have to be open for criticism.
yeah. And you kind of like look at it and go, okay. Now, one of the things which baffles me, and like I go, right, people cannot, like, if you slightly disagree with some people these days, like especially in the American quarter, because it's like, right, not even a serious disagreement or discussion, like you might push back slightly against some people, and like it's like, oh, I don't agree with what you say, you're an idiot, and you know what, I'm done with you forever. You know, go, and you kind of sit there and go, but what? I didn't say anything to really sort. I didn't come up to you, punch you in the face. I didn't come up to you, insult every member of your family. I did not have a wicked way, or did, like, you know. I just said no. I disagree with what you said there, and you was like, I don't get that, and I don't understand that, and it makes no sense to me. Like what I like when, like, yes, what you said, yeah, with your mother who went, yes, I
Yeah, she
voted for
actually
Trump.
had reasons.
Yeah, no,
Most
but
people you talk to, they don't have a reason. It's like, what
absolutely,
is it about Trump's policies that make you want to vote for him? And it's just like you just hear like crickets. It's just like,
yeah. But
like
like this is the
he's
thing,
rich.
yeah.
It's just
But
okay. All right.
yes, your mom like sat down, she thought about it, really thinks about it. And when it comes to the Supreme Court, and like this is what I don't understand, why more people are just not savvy with it. Because look, next year you've got your midterm elections, right?
Yep.
Okay, the midterm, look, okay, another thing which has just happened, and look, this is a person in Britain, United Kingdom, saying this about your country, and I think I might know. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own ass or anything like this, but I think I know maybe considerably more than a lot of the people who actually live in your own country with regards to this. The census just happened, right? That census is the thing what actually determines what seats go where, how elections will like unfold, and with the midterms coming up just next year, I don't know why they're, I don't, maybe I've missed it. Maybe I'm not paying close enough attention. I don't know why there isn't like a severe, huge drive from when the elections from the president ended. It's like, yes, it's in. And that's why, okay, we need as many people registered to vote for the next, like for them, like for the midterm elections, because that is going to determine, right, a raft of spending policy down the next, like God knows how, like for the next 4 years, and then basically, yeah, how your life is going to be either made better or worse. And
Exactly. Exactly. There are a lot of Americans here. They only vote every 4 years, and it's like you got to vote for the midterms, especially the local elections, because that's what directly affects your life.
mm,
The local elections, and like, nah, fuck that. I just It's just,
Yeah,
it
but
just doesn't make any sense. It's like people, especially people of color, man, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had. Oh man, I'm not voting, yo. My vote's wasted. It don't mean nothing. It's like if that's the case, why do they try so hard to prevent us from voting, dog? You got people out there, you got organizations spending millions upon millions to hold black people from voting. If your vote's not that important, and let's put it all out right here. If you run as a Republican, let's
mm,
say let's make it interesting. Let's say you are a black Republican. You get the nomination for president as a black Republican. You don't need the black vote to win. Republicans don't need the black vote to win. But Democrats do. Democrats are not going to win without the black vote.
well, but
But at the
like,
same time, the vote's not important. The vote's not important. I always have someone that tells me the vote's not important, the vote's not important. And they've never voted in their life, but they're the ones complaining the most about shit. I'm like, bitch, if you would have voted.
well, but here's the thing. I think the message should be like, look, okay, people, like if you go to any company, right? Let's go with a obvious company which caters for the black community in a large way. Not generally, I'm not saying food or anything like
I'm going to
this.
say KFC because you say KFC.
No, I'm not gonna say KFC. No, but let's go with like, don't know, like, hey man, don't be torturing yourself like that, man. You're on a 16-hour fast and you're talking about KFC. Like, look, you want to go there? Okay, yeah, let's talk
I
about
don't eat
KFC. No,
KFC
no, no,
because it's all right. I don't
yeah,
eat KFC.
yeah,
It's all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, so
No,
let's talk about it.
no,
It'd be
but
like Undercover Brother with the General's fried chicken.
it's like a general fried chicken. Yeah, like undercover bro. If we could go on that level, like, yeah,
Talking about get a free
watch out for
40
anyone
ounce.
having the mayonnaise. It's like mayonnaise, yeah.
The hot sauce.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, there you go.
General's fried
Yeah.
chicken.
Mm. Oh, damn. Oh,
Oh,
it's gone.
damn. Oh, gosh. I needed that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But for example, Nike, right? Okay. Nike is a oh, I've lost him. Like, you know what? Like, yeah, he's gone. Undercover brother gets mentioned. He's out.
I'm just thinking of that commercial with Billy D. Williams just fucking chicken. I haven't seen that movie in about 10 years, so it's just kind of smacking.
I don't know where
Okay,
you can find
please
it, but
continue.
yeah. No,
Oh
but
gosh.
Nike, right? Okay, look, there is,
Oh damn, he threw Nike.
yeah, no, but this is the whole thing. Nike, if it, like, one of its largest demographics of people which buy Nike are black people. Okay, the reason why Nike cares so much is because, yeah, black people show up and they buy shit. Now, if you take that, like, if you don't vote, basically you're buying attention. The more people who vote, the more attention you'll get for a politician. It's like, okay, yeah, wait, you guys all vote? Hmm. If you want to, like, if you want their attention, if you want something to come your way, you got to take part in the process. Look, the political process, wherever you go, is a busted ship. Look, at times. And look, I voted I voted in the Brexit elections to remain, and my team, we lost, and like it was a simple case of, yeah, with that loss, I think you're frozen. I don't know if you can hear me. What was that for? Yeah. Okay, as I was saying, I voted to remain in the EU, and my team didn't win. And it's like, okay, my response was, okay, look, let's get out in the most efficient way as possible and like make things as good as possible. But people still like going, yeah, but no, this. It's like, look, if they wanted to, like, if the Conservative Party at the time wanted us to remain, they could have just went, okay, because it's a referendum, it's like, okay, 65% of the vote needed to come in to make that happen. But they went, no, it has to be a 50-50 split. That's how they did it. They could have went, yeah, 65%, but they didn't do it that way. And I kind of look at it and go, why didn't you do that way? Because they just wanted out in some regards. But you had to take part in the democratic process. It works in your favor at times and it doesn't. And with regards to the democratic process this time around, everyone kind of showed up in the last election because it was Trump and he was the boogeyman. Blah, 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 blah. Like, unfortunately, for people who tend to vote Democrat, no, you know what? It just amazes me how small picture sometimes they actually think. And I'm not like, I'm just saying this as an outside observer. It's like, look, because trust me, Biden, he might have a year tops at most being president before you guys have to like go, yeah, you know what, you got to step down. And they put in Harris. And
Now, here's the ironic thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I just had a discussion with someone about this. Well, actually, I posted it on my Facebook. I got a lot of interesting responses. But like Cuomo thing, Cuomo stepping down, governor of New York, harassment thing. And we can allude that to, Biden or whatever. But basically, and that's the two main differences between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Like the Democratic Party, like they will turn on each other, drop of a dime, if it has to do with anything sexual harassment that has to do with women. Because let's be real about this. Like there are more women in the Democratic Party as politicians than the men. Women are very prevalent in the Democratic Party. Right? So, like, if we say Al Franken, you got to step down, Cuomo, you got to step down because of all of these like sexual harassment things. Yeah, they turn on each other, but then the guys step down. When it's a Republican, like Trump, for example, like so many freaking like accusations, it's insane. The GOP doesn't do that. GOP doesn't say you got to step down. They're like tough it out, and they like circle the wagons, to protect that person. And it's like, and that's their messaging. It's very clear. Like everything they do, it's like we will always support our own. Even if they're crazy or even think they're wrong on the surface, we are going to support them. As with the Democrats, it's like, nah. You touch that woman, you got to step down. You got to step down. And then they put the pressure on it, and then the person steps down. So it's like, if there's some type of situation where Biden's got to step down, he might probably step down. But here's another thing too. I was surprised that Cuomo stepped down because basically Trump pretty much put out the blueprint as president of the United States. Like, nah, I'm not stepping down. Fuck you. That's basically kind of what it was. I was very surprised Cuomo stepped down, but at the same time, he's not a Republican. Now, I'm not saying that happens every time, but history has shown us that usually Democrats will step down in shame for some bad behavior they did. It was a Democrat. No, there was a Republican. I forget if he was a senator or a congressman or whatever. I got to look it up. This was like early 2000s. This dude in California, he was caught by police with a prostitute in his car, and he fled the scene. There was a police chase, and the dude still didn't step down. He's like, I'm gonna ride it out. I think the only time maybe that Republicans like made someone step down and not really step down was Roy Moore in Alabama. But he didn't really step down because he still got like a big chunk of, supporters, even though the news was out there. Like, yeah, he's into teens and he's like old. So whatever. But that's just it. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I vote Democrat and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I can see the flaws in our parties. Like, being the Democratic Party is like going to the cafeteria. There's that one table with all like the rich country club kids, and they're like, "You're not good enough to sit with us," whatever. It's like it's all in there. It's weird because and the Democrats always like react to shit, whereas Democrats are always playing checkers. GOP's always playing I mean, that's always like that. They're always like 3 steps ahead of everyone else, and the Democrats are usually just reacting to shit. You know, I don't know why the Democrats keep. I just don't understand. It's like
Mm.
it's almost like it's like we don't want to step on your toes. We want to be polite and stuff. Like, no, you gotta be like Kobe, man. You gotta have that Mamba mentality and like go after that shit hard. It's like that's how life is.
Yeah,
I don't know. The Democratic Party is very frustrating, but like you, I'm just like,
yeah,
you
because
know,
okay, Cuomo, governor of New York, right?
yep,
Yep,
just step
and
down.
yep, step down, and Newsom, governor of California. Is that correct? Um,
I
who's the
believe.
name of the governor of California?
I think it might be Newsom.
Yeah. Now, basically, I don't have they had the elections in California now, or are they going to?
Man, I've never stepped foot in California. I got no idea. California could be on fire with like Sharknadoes going on right now.
Yeah. No, but like this is the thing. I think like I was watching like a news report where it was like going, okay, yeah, with the stuff what's going on in New York, if there's if there's another election and basically Democrats lose that, and then with regards to California, and if they lose California and like all of a sudden it starts to get rather shaky for the Democrats in the realms of okay, controlling the House and controlling the Senate. And it comes down to like, right, it basically what happened to Obama, like after the like his first term in, he became a lame duck president. Yeah, no, sorry. After the midterms, he became kind of a lame duck president. I think it was the first midterms in his presidency. It was like, yeah, had both
Because
houses,
to get anything, because couldn't get anything
couldn't get
passed.
anything done. But this is what I'm talking about with regards to the Democrats. They don't act, it's like they go, right, okay, let's just tackle that thing. But it's like they haven't actually went, oh, wait a second. If we let this go through, what's going to happen down the road? And it only occurs to them after the actions of just taking that person out comes together. And I kind of don't get it. And I look again and again, and I'm like, oh,
I honestly think it's like a basic human behavior between the two parties. One party is obsessed with power,
mm,
and the other party has power, and they just don't know what to do. And basically, any person that has power, they don't want to give it up.
yeah,
It's as simple as that. And a lot of people that have power, they will do anything within that said power to keep that power. Instead of doing their jobs, all they're doing is making sure to keep jobs. Like you, policies change. You don't need like you shouldn't be like a senator in for 40 years or some shit. No, no, you don't. No, no. It's like okay, if you were effective leader in the 60s, you're not going to be an effective leader in the 2000s and 2010s. I'm sorry. It's just like age. It's just like whatever. Times are different. There's no reason people have to be in government as a senator since the 60s.
mm,
No, no, no. Because it's like, how much has their thinking changed? You know, I mean, you're thinking, I mean, there's people that are in power right now in Washington that when they started, segregation was still legal and black people didn't have the right to vote. Black people have only had the right to vote in the US for like 50 years. You know, it's very different. You need new, fresh, progressive blood. At the same, and this both parties, you have the same old people in there, same like this worked in the 80s. Like, okay, yeah, it's not
mm,
working now, bruh. You know, change that up. I just don't know. You know what? This is all I know about Washington. Every politician that goes in Washington is broke as a church mouse. And by the time they leave, they're a millionaire. That's all I know. That's all
well,
I've
hey,
plain and simple.
well, like this is the thing. You only need to do one term of 4 years, and you've got a lifelong pension, guaranteed that final salary. You know what? Hey, I would love to know any other job what gives you that. But
Only did 4 years, son.
yeah,
That's like going for
4 years.
life.
4 years, and like I get a pension which is in the realms of like 100 and something thousand dollars. Uh living tasty, living large. And
Yeah, I
look,
just don't understand how people don't even. The science is there. It's like okay, if I talk to a super conservative person, you're like, well, I don't believe in science. I believe in Jesus. I'm like, well, you believe in Jesus, right? You believe in God. Yes, I do. Well, guess what? God created those scientists, and God also created the science from the scientists.
don't
So
don't
believe the science.
no, don't be playing those mind games with like people
I
like
know
that.
it's
No, no, because all you're just doing is just building up frustration and pain for yourself. No,
do
don't
it
get me.
Jedi style, like
Yeah,
science.
it's like it's like yeah, and they'll just stare at you and go, "I don't believe in Jedi mind tricks," and you're like, "Oh, wait a second." It's like, I'm right, yeah, that's how deep ignorance can be, like live in the realm of some people out there. It's like, yeah, they're that dumb stupid that even a Jedi mind trick has no power over them. Not because they're strong-willed, they're just stubborn and stupid. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's very frustrating.
yeah, I can
Living in this
imagine.
country as a person with intelligence is very frustrating. Oh, here's a fun fact for you. I don't know if you know this. You like numbers and stuff. Do you know that in 2016, of all the black men in this country that are college educated, 18% of them voted for Trump?
Yeah, I can imagine that. No, because you got to look at it this way, right? And it's happening over here in some regards. Now, it's more like when you look at the sort of social and economics of it all, it's like, okay, I don't fit in this or economic bracket. Like basically, some of the Labour Party, as well as like the like Democrats, kind of look at the population and go, yeah, you're poor, dumb sheep, and you need our help and support just to make it through. And like this is all like, and like, yeah, because you're poor, like I when I mean like economically poor, it's like, yeah, these are the things we are, and like this is what we collect on. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And so they draft this policy of maybe 30 years ago when maybe the world was down that way. And they go to like a community of like, which might be ethnic diverse or one particularly ethnic minority, and it's like, yes, you're poor and stuff like this, and like this, it's like, what do you mean poor? It's like, yeah, well, I like, you know what I mean. I earn like almost six figures, and I got a rather nice car, and like, yeah, I wish I had a better apartment, or I wish I could afford like to live in X, Y, and Z, but I can't do that. And while they're pushing that policy to people, many a person who don't live like that, don't see the world like that. And if you're just like pushing like the social side of things, they are pushing. And here's the thing. And when I say this, hey, don't counsel me wild. They're pushing such a minority niche social agenda, which you just like go, okay, how does like, okay, I understand this like small, very small group of people in the population might be adversely affected by many things in life, but what the hell does that have to do with me as like, you know what I mean, like as a family to get my kids to school, help them like get a better education. I don't look, I don't give a like, I don't give two fucks about your pronouns. It's just a case of I need like, yeah, look, it's, but this is the truth. I want to just be able to go feed my kid, educate my kid, have like live my life, and maybe have a pension at the end of it. Done. And it's not that complicated. And while you do it like, hey, so far like removed from, not like from the majority, who like, who, how are you going to win? Who's going to elect you? Am I
Tell me
wrong?
to go to Wakanda.
Look, yeah,
Eat Wakanda. Eat it now.
hey, but like, but you understand? Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I totally understand it. Yeah.
And this is the I think this is where some of it falls into, because it's like Labour Party over here in the UK, Democrats over there with you are just, I think, so out of the realms of reality of what's going on. They're just out of touch. They're in their ivory towers and they're just like no idea how
They're
to connect.
all out of touch. They're all out of touch. I mean, think about the irony. Most of the people in this country that are not vaccinated are Republicans, you know?
Mm,
And most of the people that are getting now are unvaccinated people. And it's like, well, it's my body, my choice. But all the Republican leaders are vaccinated. And this is public knowledge. They know this, and it's like now, recently, now most, even Fox News, like as of a few weeks ago, it's like, you got to go get vaccinated. You got to go get vaccinated. They weren't saying that shit 5 months ago. They weren't saying that, they're like, no, don't do the vaccination. Big brother, big brother. Now
mm.
they're like, you got to get vaccinated. You got to get vaccinated because it's kind of interesting because it can be like an ironic twist where like Republican voters could possibly start dying off. Got a dude, I'm not wearing a mask. I don't want a vaccine. It's my body, my choice. But on the flip side, I don't believe a woman should choose to control her body for the birth of her child. It's like so ironic. It would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic.
But like this is the thing. There are a lot of people I don't think are thinking like that. And like, look, don't get me
All
wrong.
emotion. It's
Yeah.
all emotion.
Well, like this is the thing. What like when have facts had to play any truth in the realm of the reality? Look, it's like, look, look, it's yeah, it's bullshit, emotionally driven like arguments. And look, with regards to like this pandemic, it has been it started out like we need to all come band together as one. Everyone said that, face the hard time and everything like this. 3 months into it, it was just like, yeah, the divisions, you could see them coming all over the planet. That's like, yeah, we can use this for political capital. It's like, look, forget that. Well, because let's be honest, if you're a politician, when they say we're all in it together, look, let's just say they're getting a paycheck on a regular basis. You know what I mean? They're not going to be evicted anytime soon from their houses. They're not going to really feel that sort of realm of suffering that you
Very
and
true.
I and yeah, it's like,
Most
look,
of the people in this country are like one paycheck away from like house.
yeah, look, put it this way, like people just can't, like $500 emergency comes up, can't do it. It's like can't do it. And look, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, we live in a world where you've got like movie stars and artists. Like, yeah, imagine all the people live. Oh, you're a fucking like, you know what I mean? You're not going like you sons of bitches. Look, you guys are sitting in your mansions, like yeah, with plenty of space, plenty of money and resources, like singing all this. And like the first line you come out with, "Imagine there's no heaven." You sing like don't get me wrong, John Lennon's "Imagine" is a beautiful, beautiful song. But like, yeah, times when people are dying, but like scores of people, this is not the song you want to like kick things off. You know what I mean? But whole thing is it got very political very quickly, and they were just using it as political capital. And like all of the things which could have been done to make things better, they fought and fought and fought and fought back and forth, just more divisions. And now when it comes to this like vaccine, you got like so many people riled up, like who are like going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to take that vaccine. Oh yeah, because you know what, propaganda works. And if you've done a campaign of like propaganda against something which ultimately should speak like expedite us getting back to normal.
Propaganda works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's been the message.
eat a General's fried chicken.
Yeah, but hey, but I don't know. But
I
what do
can't be
you?
serious all the time because it's exhausting.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And like
Yeah.
this, like this is the thing. What do you think would be some of the things that can be done to sort of help improve a lot in life?
Actually give a shit about other people. Um, I know people just wire so different. Like how you said, I'll tell you right now, if I win a lottery of any kind, man, I would do so much stuff.
What would you do?
I would I would start scholarships. I would definitely, a lot of rappers over here they talk about buy back the block. Basically, it's like, whatever neighborhood you came from, use your money, use your fame to like bring that neighborhood up. I would definitely.
You like, well, you keep cutting in and out.
How about nah?
Yeah, that's better.
It's because the voice is deep, and sometimes it just hits these low octaves, and it's just like sound doesn't carry. It's mysterious. It's like aliens could probably hear it, but
Fair enough, fair enough. But
yeah.
for us
Like,
humans,
fair
like you know
enough.
what I mean. So, like yeah,
Right now, somebody's catching this in Saturn.
yeah. Like yeah, there's some aliens like now that's some deep knowledge there. I
Yeah,
just
it
don't
would
want to.
definitely
Yeah,
be like urban renewal. Like just anything that I could try to do that will help people's lives be easier. It's like we're only on this dirt ball for so much time, and it's very hard for people to just enjoy life because there's so much stress, so much anxiety, so many things going on. And it's like if you have the power to like make someone's life a little easier, why not use it? Why not do it? I mean, it could be like a stranger, something like that. It's like sometimes what I do, and it's like just a little thing. Around Christmas time, I'll go to the liquor store. Maybe I'm buying some wine or some liquor or something like that. I will grab a bottle of wine, pay for it, take it to the counter, and I'll tell the person to give that bottle to the next person in line. Walk out. It's like little things like that. It's people will remember little things that you do out of the kindness of your heart. Like you will never forget that. I can remember little things that people have done for me, just random, something that I didn't ask for, and it's just make it easy. Everybody's suffering from some shit. Just make it easier. Just for like a day, a moment, whatever. So it's all we have. We just have moments. It's I don't know. It's make people feel good. Whatever. But at the same time, don't be a fool. So, but I mean, if I won the lottery, first I would recreate Jay-Z Big Pun video. I would redo that, my own version, and then I'd just be on a yacht, just like it's like open up food banks. I'm kidding about the Big Pun.
So I don't know. I'm not too sure you are. It's like because you just like you like put it this way, like all I've got to say is you're throwing down some noble shit right there. You're like, oh, yeah, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that, and then
you
I
just
like you
curveball like
yeah,
what big pimpin' video.
big pimping video. That's like I'm not look at you, that's like all I've got to simply say is, like I think you'll be investing in a whole caseload of baby oil before that, like before the whole college funds and stuff be going.
Meanwhile, you're nodding like the camera's on. I should nod.
Yeah, it's like
I'm recording this. Let me pretend I care.
It's like yeah. Now that
the
you
camera's
won,
off, be like, fuck you talking about this video.
it's like okay. It's like Hey, but like, well, now you've won the Powerball, $150 million. What are you going to do? And then meanwhile, I'll just see a shipment of like, yeah, baby oil coming in the background. Just like
I'll
oh,
just
it's
walk
like
up,
that.
collect that big paper check, have like sunglasses, like a bottle of Moet, like what up?
It's like,
Like
yeah, yeah.
like just a public announcement. I'm cutting off all communication. Don't look for me. Deuces. Just me out.
Yes.
Talk about, yeah, I'm the dude you know with 19 Teslas. Shut up.
Yeah. And that.
Like I've like, for example, like I'd hook up pops, like get him a new apartment, get him a car,
Mm,
take care of Jim and Eleanor, stuff like that. Just like, like decent human shit, just like whatever. Take care of the people I love, and then try to take care of people or help people I don't know.
mm.
I mean, I do so much volunteer work. It's insane. Last year with the pandemic, I wasn't working. I did volunteer work for like 19 different nonprofit organizations last year. I was just like churning.
Mm.
I mean, I do a lot of volunteer. I'm volunteering again for the Woodstock Film Festival this year. So last year was interesting because of the pandemic. We showed all the movies in drive-ins, three different drive-ins. Usually we showed them in theaters for the film festival. We did all drive-ins. It was pretty interesting because I noticed two things. One, most of the people that came out have never been to a drive-in theater before, and where I live, there's like three of them in under an hour to travel to. Most places don't have any. I got three that I can hit in under an hour. It's weird.
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
the second big thing is that we had people coming out from all over. I mean, I was a venue manager, and the drive-in that I was managing last year during the festival, I was like an hour and a half from New York City. We had people coming in from Detroit, Boston, Long Island, Rhode Island, Long Island, whatever else. Rhode Island, just different states. I mean, Detroit, someone drove their car from Detroit to see a drive-in film at the film festival. That's Detroit, man. I'm like, who's doing that? Like, I'm gonna drive to New York and see a movie. Who's
Yeah.
doing that? That's
Well,
crazy.
well, that person is, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I needed to get
Yeah,
out of the house, way out of the house.
yeah. I need to get out of the house for a few days. But I
Mhm.
mean, it was easy because like a lot of functions now in public, they have pods. So you got your group of people that that
Yeah.
like if it's a spouse or a relative or kids or whatever, like you all like are not going to get each other sick. So it was pretty easy to drive because everyone's just staying in their cars, you know. So it was great. But we're going back to venues this year, and hopefully, the Delta variant doesn't affect that. I mean, and I'm just happy with that. I just do my volunteer thing. I just do wow. It's just my shit.
Mm,
That's
mm.
what it is. I have a very difficult time saying no to people.
It's very difficult.
Like, steal this car and burn down this orphanage. I'm like, yes, yes. I mean, no, it's not like that. But like, I should say no, but like, how long is this going to be? Like, are we using kerosene or gasoline? Because that, I need to know. Come on, man. I'm kidding.
Are you?
Come on. Hey,
It's
man. I'm in improv. I just make up shit to be funny.
She's like, yes, you're on improv. Yeah, he's saying this for
Yeah.
any law enforcement which might be listening. It's like,
Look, I have evidence. I got like 9 episodes of my improv group, at least 9 or 12. I don't know. They're on YouTube, so I actually can make up shit.
no, no, yes. Now, I have to ask now. Come on now. When are you going to start your very own podcast? Because come on,
Ha ha ha, man. Um,
yeah,
well, there's two things. One, right now I don't have the time. I'm like going nuts, crazy. But two, also because of SAG, I literally have to look it up because it counts as new media. I don't know how you're familiar with the SAG system. If you're in the union, you can't work on non-union stuff. That's how it is.
Yeah.
with the Screen Actors Guild. And I know they have this new department for like new media. So that's like, podcasts, like YouTube, streaming, like stuff like that. So I actually have to look it up and see. I mean, I do have a podcast that a friend of mine and I talked about because we're like background actors and stuff and like stand-in people. So we want to have like kind of like a weird entertainment podcast where you get like real from people that are not stars. so, so we've been talking about that, and we're both in a union, so we have to figure out. I just know we got to do paperwork. Because
Okay.
the union could be like, "Hey, you're putting out stuff that's non-union, and we don't like that. Smack the hand." So
Yeah. Because like
I think
I'm
guesting, I think like being a guest on a podcast doesn't really count because I'm not going to be like, "Look, man, you got to fill out like 15 pages of this paperwork to get a brother on your show." Crazy.
just
Crazy.
like yeah, you know what? I would do it. But like look, because last time you were on the podcast was back in like from what I'm just looking it
We
up.
were in the middle of Corona, right? Was it
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah, it
Yep.
was July. It's like, yeah,
Was it July 2020?
yeah, July 2020. I'm like, yeah. And like I mentioned this last year, and you're like,
And
yeah, you
you have
told,
no answers to these questions.
yeah, yeah.
It's going to happen
Look,
eventually.
look, because
Soon.
look, hey, all I've got to simply say is, yeah, the campaign of getting you on a like getting your own podcast is like in my mind, it started. Like I was like, okay, I've given you over
Is
a
this like,
year now.
is this your goal? Is this like your team goal? Talking
Hey,
about you be on your deathbed, like at least you got
oh, no. Like this is like I wouldn't be on my deathbed. Put it this way, I'll like, yeah, just hearing at the door, just like, okay, yeah, hey, Samia, how you doing?
I'm knocking on your door.
Good.
Like instead of doing a podcast, I decided to fly over with these Mega Millions I just won.
It's like a,
Party at your crib, big
it's like,
pimping video. We're getting a yacht.
yeah, I'll be like,
Going out Tom's, doing the big pimping.
yeah, I'll be like, I'm ping video. Yeah. Okay, sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down at
You're
that
like,
mic. Yeah, record.
I need you to hold this bottle of champagne. I need Big Ben in the background. That's how we do it, yo.
Yeah, I'll be like,
US style.
I'll be like, sit your ass down. Yeah, we're setting you up. We're doing this now. It's like, yeah, with all that cash you've got, yeah, I hired a lawyer. Yeah, you're all good. Bring it on. Because come on. Like,
I'm just trying to imagine the thought process of like people in London seeing like a yacht full of black people sailing. Like, how would they respond to you?
they'll most really think you're a famous sports person or something like that.
Okay. Be like, I'm a footballer.
No, not with that accent. No.
Hey. I'm using this accent in the play, man.
Look, all I've got to simply
It's
say
Shakespeare, so it's like it's just whatever. They asked me, the director's like, "Can you do a British accent?" I'm like, "I can do an accent that probably represents Britain. I don't know how accurate it is because I know British people, and Lord help me if they hear the accent." So
I think it most really symbolizes racism more than that.
how does it symbolize racism?
Go on,
do
do the accent again
as a person of color. What?
Go on.
You put me on the spot. Now I gotta think. Okay, I'll use a line from the play. So that way you can just hear the accent in full form. Plus, it's Shakespeare, so it's like your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's Midsummer Night's Dream, playing Tom Snout, so, and also the wall. So I said, "Doth the moon not shine the night we play our play?" What do I sound like Brad Pitt or like Snatch? Is that it? Do I sound like, oh, you just walking away from the camera? That's just horrible. That's bad. That's bad. Bad. You do not like my fake British accent. Damn it. Are you coming back? You're just gonna stay off camera? Okay, I get it. Is this thing still recording? Yes, it is. Okay. You had to take a minute. You had to take a minute.
Oh no, like
You didn't take a minute.
Wow,
Look, man,
it was like you left the room. It was transcendent.
I know it's an accent. It's like, look, when I do the accent, my main goal in my head is not to make it sound Australian. So, I mean, it's weird because my director loves my accent, and it's weird because we're doing Shakespeare. Everyone's been dropping their accents in the rehearsals. I'm the only one keeping the accent, so she's got to use me as an example. Like, Willis still keeps his accent. How come the rest of you can't? Stupid Americans. I mean, she's not saying that. That's probably what she's saying in her head. But it's like, he keeps his accent. Why can't any of you? I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even know if the accent's like accurate or not. I'm like, nobody in this play is from the UK. How? Whatever.
It's like, what the hell?
Probably watch like a couple of episodes of Sherlock, and it's like, sounds good enough. That works for me. Sound like Martin Freeman, kind of works for me. There you go. There we go.
Well, like, put it this way, Benedict Cumberbatch, yeah, his American accent is not the best, but still.
Well, yeah. But here's the thing, though. I mean, it's like a community play thing, like a play troupe.
Yeah.
If it's a film, there are dialect coaches, there are like accent coaches and stuff like that. Like, that's not really the case. And basically, like, your dialect coach is YouTube. So, a true story. I was asked to audition for a audiobook, and it said I needed a Montana accent. What the hell is that? Is this just like a country accent or something? And I'm looking on YouTube videos. I'm like, I don't even hear the accent. Like, I don't know what a Montana, like, say if I do the accent, how can you tell I'm from Montana and not, Alabama? Or, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. I obviously did not get the book, but it's like Montana accent.
Yeah. No.
Can't you just say Midwest accent? Why you gotta like narrow it down to a state? It's not like it's Minnesota or something. Some states have specific
Dialect.
accents.
Yeah. But I'm
You
like,
just don't like my British accent? Is that just
hey, look, man.
Is it insulting you? Are you
look,
really
all I've got to all I've got to simply say is like, hey, like, if you ever come over to the UK, look, like,
I'm not going to do the accent if I go over to the UK because I'll probably get my ass beat. So,
yeah, like, I can't help it if they just say, Willis Williams. Yeah.
Well, remember the time when we went to the mall and the Marine recruiter was pissed off at you because he thought you were doing a fake British accent? Remember that? You remember that? He was giving you a hard time. He's like, look, you have to give me a fake accent. And you're like, I'm not from this country. I don't live here. I am not an American. And like, the dude was having an argument with you in the mall. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I did not sound like that. I was like, and I was rather respectful to him. I was like, yeah, you know what? As much as I'm honored by the whole fact of you wanting me to join the United States military, I can't do it. And it's like, yeah, because I'm British. It was like, I showed him my passport. It was,
yeah, after you showed him the passport, he's like, oh. But he went on this whole time like, come on, man. You think the brother's really going to fake an accent to not join something that's completely optional? It's not like it's a draft where he's trying to get out of it. It's totally optional. It's like, why is he going to fake an accent?
Well, what can I say? I can't help it if he saw real potential in me. There you go. It's like, yeah, I see potential in you, son. It's like,
yeah, I've been in the improv class. I've been trying to perfect my Irish accent. I'm like chopping it up, but then at the same time, it's like nobody's doing it. Because I'm the only one that actually tries to do accents in our classes. So right now, my class probably got like 8 people. Of course, 3 Black people in it, and we're all New Yorkers. And then we actually have one guy from the UK. And it's funny because our class is 2 p.m. Eastern time. So what time is it over there?
It is currently
Eastern time.
Well, 2 p.m. Eastern time. That would be around about 7 o'clock here in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah, his name is like Chavis. He's like he's a white dude. He's like hilarious, but he's like the only dude in our class that's from another country. Everybody else is like LA, or they're in, Texas, or like Arizona. But this dude is from UK. And the thing is that I'll send you the link for the YouTubes, because what we do is we do 4 weeks of practicing the games,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fifth week we do a live stream on YouTube that's recorded, so you can actually like see the shows and stuff. So he brings it, and it's just funny. Just I'm like, man, it's like we actually got an international.
Hey.
Anyone could join because we do it through Zoom, so anyone could join. So that's basically what we do. But of course, three of us, the Black people, we've been in it since like day one. So like we do that whole New York thing when all the new people come in and just kind of like harass them, trial by fire, at that New York thing, and just like, what state are you from? And like, what, Detroit? I mean, you from Illinois? Whatever. Chicago? What? Where are you from? From Texas? Like on purpose? We just like mess with them. Like, are you a military brat, or were you kidnapped and that's where you discovered where you are? Just,
Wow, gee. It's like, oh
yeah,
my
we
Lord.
kind of mess with him.
It's like, yeah, improv. It can build your confidence and make you a better person until you go through the hazing.
I'm in Nevada. I'm like, what? Nicaragua? Like, what? How are the rebel forces there? We just like kind of mess with
Oh my God.
It's just like, is there a lot of kickback when you're firing an AK? Just,
oh my God.
improv, man. It's like we have problems. I mean, I did one whole skit while I was making fun of Long Island. I did one whole skit where I was a preacher, and I was like, oh my gosh. I had like church music playing in the background and everything. I had like my phone set up doing organ, choir music and stuff. When we do the preacher skit, we usually have to preach about something. So Kent Scove, that's our coach, he's like, okay, you're going to preach about how plastic is amazing. You're going to preach about how pencils are amazing. You're going to preach about the magic power of glass or whatever. So about this pencil saved me, like all this other stuff. It's kind of crazy. We have fun. Plus, it's weird because it's improv. We practice these games, but you get more laughs when you like fuck up constantly. So it works out.
Loving it.
Yeah, man.
Loving it.
I'll send you a couple of links.
Yeah, please do.
Yes. So I don't do British accent. So I try to do British accent. I mess it up. Look, I've been around for 40 years. Just like stuff like that. Just like kind of, I'm still working on it because I think the spontaneity of like black Irish accent. Sometimes I do the Christopher Walken voice. Sometimes I do Bing Rames. Sometimes just kind of like, yeah. I'm trying to think of just an actual episode where I actually talk with my normal voice.
So with regards to like, your acting side of things, like, because like, you have like, let's just say you've changed quite a lot over the last 3 years from like doing sort of like marketing for cars and stuff like this to now. What do you think? What do you think you want to sort of go ahead and tackle over the next sort of like 3 years or so?
Excuse me. Tackle a cough drop.
Well, yeah, Corona.
Lozenge.
Yeah, they.
So I don't want to have like trach voice or anything. Well, okay. So I want to learn a lot about the film business in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done like a lot of things. I've done the acting thing. I've done the voiceover thing. There are some productions where I'll be a production assistant just so I can set and learn stuff. I was a production assistant on a reality competition show in June.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. We'll be on in November. It's called Table Rules. So reality is really weird. That'll be like another topic for another day. I'm like, wow, reality is very crazy. But also, I was certified last year as a total compliance officer. So I actually worked on a film this past weekend, a short film on a 4-day schedule where I was the COVID officer. So basically, I was arranging the COVID tests, making sure people had masks, you know, getting their results sent to me,
Mm.
making sure to spread 6 feet apart and stuff like that, and doing the COVID safety. That's going to be a mainstay for a very long time. So little things, you know. I've was an associate producer in three short films, so I like to kind of touch everything. But I have a partner, a business partner. She's an actress, and we started a nonprofit, and we just got our 501c 4 weeks ago. Basically, eat notes. And what the basis of the nonprofit is to help people of color,
Mm-hmm.
LGBTQ, and disabled people to help them find jobs in entertainment in the Hudson Valley. So it's basically what we've been doing because I've noticed for the past couple of years that people will reach out to me and say, "Hey, I know this is gonna sound weird. Like I'm just using it as a disclaimer, but I'll get like I know like several casting directors, and they'll like call me and say, "Hey, Willis, you like 5 black people for this film." You know, it's like okay, I'll find you some black actors and stuff like that or whatever, and I'm dead serious. Or I'll get someone like Josh Rubin that directed Werewolves Within.
Yeah.
Um, his fiance Lauren, she was filming a short horror film. And Josh is like, dude, I need PAs. And I'm like, all right. I gave him a list of like 5 people. I'm like, these people would be great, you know. And Lauren picked one of the people that whatever. So I'm always kind of passing stuff around. Like, there's a reboot of Pretty Little Liars that will
Ah.
start production next week. It takes place 20 years after Pretty Little Liars. I've never watched the show, so I have no idea. I just know teams. And they're filming it like half an hour from me, Saugerties, which is, like north of New Paltz, obviously. You're familiar with New Paltz because that's Party City. So, yeah, you
No,
got
I,
some
I
West.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up. So, this Pretty Little Liars thing, it's an HBO Max show. It's going to
Yeah.
shoot. It starts next week and it's filming until the middle of March.
Mm.
So, and I've already had 3 departments reach out to me. Like, COVID department, we need people. The art department, we need people. And the eco department, which is basically kind of like, you know, um, using basically eco is kind of like an executive assistant, but you're like organizing scripts, you're using final draft software, stuff like that.
Mm.
And I've literally been like funneling them names. Um, there's a movie shooting in Albany called Resurrection. It stars Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth, and
Ah.
Ari Aster is producing it. And you're familiar with Ari Aster, right? You know that man is a genius. He did Hereditary and Midsummer.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Yes, so he's a producer on that film, and um, a couple of people on the film crew like have already asked me to refer them COVID PAs and actors, and art department PAs and stuff like that. So I usually get a lot of people ask me, "Do you know someone that can fit this role?" So
Mm.
after getting that for the past couple of years, I'm like, maybe I should, find a way where I can get paid to do this, but at the same time help a lot of people. So that's where the idea of the nonprofit.
Mm.
So that's basically what it is. It's like because myself and my partner, we're already pipelines. She's a black actress, so like it's the same thing. It's like, yo, I need like black, makeup artist. I need like a black screenwriter. I need, black hair person, costumer, or whatever. There are some productions, especially in the city, that they want people of color on the crew as many as possible. Diversity is a big thing. It's like if Disney's going to shoot something up here and they're talking to the Hudson Valley Film Commission, they're going to ask a ton of questions about diversity. Like how many people of color can you get working on the crew? How many people of color can you get, in the production, stuff like that. That's a really big deal. So, I mean, diversity is a big thing, especially, like at Captain Marvel seat. The director is an African American female.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
and that's basically what's going on. So we're trying to like build something out of this. But like I said, I'm already a pipeline. I'm already referring names to people back and forth anyway. So I can't
Uh,
even make it an official.
It sounds like you should be starting some type of recruitment consultancy for these sort of roles, like because you seem
Yeah.
to be tapped into it really well.
Yeah, it's
And
like people will reach out to me like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "No, but I know
mm,
someone who can," and then I just pass it along.
yeah, because yeah, sounds really good. Sounds like an excellent opportunity. Like the whole thing is, it sounds like there is uh, a large opportunity in the New York area for a lot of people who could become sort of up and coming actors or working in the film sector, which. With regards to a lot of the changes which are going on from last year, because I think this is like they call it the Great Recession now, like resignation, excuse me, where
Right,
people
right.
are like quitting. And but I think it's a case of this is like the time where a lot of people are reflecting about what they're doing back then, about their lives and how they were living it. I think people are now starting to take action about where they should be going. I think that's going to be a major shift over the next 5 years. Mm.
Right. Especially with this, people ask me, "Hey, I want to, do this and this and this." And I'm like, "You got to get on a set." I mean,
Mm.
even if you just go as a background person or as a production assistant, you will at least know how a setup is. You get to see what the gaffer does, and what the makeup department does, and what the props department does, and what the
Mm.
supervisor does, and what the first AD like for example, like if you're a director on a film, 90% of the time the director really isn't running around telling people what to do. It's usually the first AD, first assistant director, because most of the time the directors are dealing with the studio and the producers
Mm.
mostly. And the first AD, they're the one that's like running the set. So, I mean, there's so many different things. I mean, even like craft service, there's companies in the city that they are caterers just for film sets. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. They just cater for film. And it's like they're always in business. Because it's like, hey, we're catering this episode of SVU. And then, a couple of days later, we're doing the Wu Tang show. And a couple of days later, we're doing Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and stuff. I mean, if you're a caterer, it's like, I mean, if you're not doing weddings, you should be doing film sets.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. But also with this nonprofit, we want to do other services too. So, say for example, if you want to get started in acting, the
Yeah.
first thing you need is a headshot. Most people don't have like $500 for a headshot. So we want to set up a service where maybe you pay like $100 for
Mm.
professional headshots that helps you get out there. Or, because of COVID, a lot of auditions are not in person, self tapes. So you got to have like the background, plain background, or plain wall, and have like a tripod with your iPhone and everything, which is totally acceptable now. And just like set it up, have your little ring light or whatever, and it's like okay, but are you making a good self tape? It's like we also want to provide services where we'll have someone tape with you and work with you on it and tell you, like you need to do this, like little things, like things that
Mm.
I had to learn on the fly. Like for example, if you're doing a self tape, you shouldn't stand in the middle of the frame because most movies, no one's standing in the middle of the frame unless you're a narrator talking to the audience, like breaking the fourth wall. Usually, you're like on the left side or the right side. I mean, it's like little things like that. It's like think about it. If you're shooting your first self tape and you're directly in the middle of the frame, as soon as they turn that on, that casting director's like, nah, probably, and then just like move on to the next one, just
Mm.
because you were standing in the middle of the shot instead of off on the side, which is what a movie actually does. Like little things like that. It's like you want to help people the best way possible to get the best opportunities possible. And there's all these little things that you never think of. Like right now, the hot trend is taking headshots outside, you know, like with nature in the background, usually blurred out or something, outside headshots. And like it's trendy now for bright colors, so not earth tones, like bright colors, like bright red or bright
Mm.
yellow, something like a blue, just like one simple look. There's all these things going on that most people that are trying to get in don't know. And that's where we come in because we're the experts. So we're just trying to help people out, basically. Just help them get in. There's tons of opportunities, especially for new faces. Oh gosh, I started a Facebook about a year and a half ago, two other black actors for black actors between New York City and Albany. So it's like, like a 3 hour stretch, like, like 160, 170, 200-mile range. There we got like 118 people in there, and they're all black actors or actresses. And it's theater, film, TV. Yeah, the niche is in. It's like, representation. That's what it's all about. Because, for you to get in this thing easily, you got to know someone. I didn't know anyone. I did like year after year of volunteer work at a film festival, and then I just met some filmmakers, and then they gave me some shots, and I maximized that. If someone wants to come in, I want to make it as easy for them as possible, because basically, like, once you're in this world, you're in this world. If you don't want to act anymore, you can become a producer, you can become a director, you can do a prop, you can do props where you're just like, hey, these are fake guns and let's make fake blood. Like the other day, even though I was the COVID guy on this short film, they needed wine, and like they're not going to get real wine. So I worked with a props guy, like I hung out with a props guy on Werewolves Within, and basically I mixed red wine out of like cranberry juice and grape juice. I'm just like, I'm like, okay, there you go. There's your red wine. Like that. Like, oh, we need white wine. I'm like, okay, here you go. Well, just white grape juice. Just like little things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But this is the reason why I say you need to, like, yeah, do a podcast and stuff like this, just to, like, you know what I mean?
It's
Either
coming.
on that, what?
It's coming.
Coming?
2027, be there now.
No, I swear to God. No, it's not going to be 2027. I swear to God, I'll make it happen sooner than that. But like, this is what I mean. Like, you've got this wealth of knowledge, like, which you picked up with, like, through hard graft, like putting in the work. But like, this is the thing. There are so many other people you could help with this, and like doing the nonprofit. Yeah, with doing the nonprofit, that's great. And like, you know what I mean? Like, if you like did a podcast and like, yeah, just touched a couple of people, and like, yeah, to like, oh, right, let's go to the nonprofit. Oh, right, okay, yeah, this is how I found my way in. And like, you know what I mean? There could be like some kid or like some adult. It's like, yeah, I like some guy or girl who's like, I used to work a corporate job and like I got into the acting thing, and like, look, here I am standing, like getting my Golden Globe, Emmy, like Oscar or whatever. And like, yeah, I've managed to like change my life in the last 5 years, 10 years. And if you can like go, yeah, put something towards that, come on, man. That'd be freaking awesome, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's very exciting. It's just this industry is so big, and there's so many ways you can go on and
Mm,
stuff. And it's just like I want to kind of get a sample of it all,
yeah.
just to kind of be in that world. I mean, you know how it is. You have more value as a jack of all trades. I mean, I guess if you're a specialist in something, you have value. I think you also have value in being a jack of all trades. Like a decent amount of different things. So that way, which is why I think like I get people like asking, do you know this? Do you know that? I mean, I think
Mm,
it's like a jack of all trades, like a hub of knowing people. Um, that's basically it. It's like if someone needs a costume, I know two people right off the bat. I can text them. They need costumes for this, whatever. If someone needs like script supervisor, basically the script supervisor is making sure that we're following the script,
mm.
and just like kind of like where I know this guy. I need a hairdresser, makeup person. I know a couple of makeup people. It's there. I need a guy, a camera guy. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's it's very nice to just kind of, and people don't expect it. It's like, hey man, you wanna work on a film? They need people now. Here's the contact info. Tell them I hit you up. Boom, boom, boom. That's it.
Hi. Yeah, man. Do it. Do it big time because,
And the
like,
goal,
hey,
the goal is always for me recreating the big. It's just like thank you for the Oscar. Now I have enough money to big pimp. Like I
what's with the big
yeah.
payment? It's like, always with it. Like, yeah, I love it. I'm loving it. Like this is the thing. I like all I've got to simply say is, yeah, much love and respect to you, bro. Because look, I think, I think if you like push forward with this, who knows? Who knows? Like because look, it's taken its time and like yeah, maybe a few unhappy days, months, and years to find yourself on this like sort of correct path. But you know what I mean? Like when you sort of would like I saw you doing the whole volunteering for like the movie like festivals and stuff like this. And before you know it, it was like, yeah, you were excited. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean
I had
it's
that sort of thing.
yeah, it's like it's just anything with film. I'm gonna be in for that. I mean, like right now, like this. I haven't shaved my head. I haven't cut my hair since April because I'm growing this for like a part of a TV show.
Mm,
And they're like, can you grow your hair out an inch? I don't know. This is the longest my hair has been since I was like 9.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like much now, but I throw the pick in it, and it like blows out a little bit. I throw the pick in there, but basically just the fact that growing my hair since April for
Mm,
it took place in the 70s, so I gotta kind of have somewhat of a flowish look. So
mm.
you know how I am. I like me and you would be twins right now on camera, but I got which
Yeah.
is weird because like it's been such a shock to have hair. It's like, oh man, I got to put like moisturizer in it, and then it's like, damn, I got dandruff. Dandruff for years, because all you do is just you get up, put the coconut oil on it, get that shine on the head, and you're out the door. Now it's like, man, I got to put this castor oil in this. Like I get this Jamaican castor oil I got from like the hair place. It's like it'll help your hair grow. I'm like rubbing this stuff in it. It smells like sesame oil. So I feel like I'm at a hibachi place putting this stuff in my hair. I'm just like, whatever. And then I got the stocking cap on to keep it all like whatever. It's just your hair cares. I go to the barber, have my man edge it up. Every other week, but it's like I got hair. It's weird because I haven't had hair in so long. So I'll be in conversations. I'm just like, or I'm driving and I'm just, oh, shit, I got hair. It's just it's so weird. It's weird.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. This is just yeah. I gotta start weighing myself.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Well, like you're gonna have to weigh yourself to like know the
I
progress you're
figure
making.
like if I do the fast and crack,
Well, like look, well, I think if you just do the fast, let's go with that before you like get onto the whole realm of crack because
well, I
let's
mean,
just say,
I know that. I mean, I'm sure like after the first month or so, I'll probably see a difference. Like I said, it's only been like 21 days. So, like I said, my boy Matt, he did 6 months, and you know, there's only how it is on Facebook. You see the before and after photos, and like, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. Like,
mm.
okay, rock on, bro. Just kind of
Mm.
whatever. So that's the thing. That's the secret of fast. You can't snack at night and shit, which is tough because like around 9 o'clock, I'm like ramen time, bitches, or Lucky Charms time, bitches, or Dorito times. Now it's just like I told you earlier, it's like okay, it's 6:59. Last bite. Okay, done. Just like write it out. So yeah. Oh look, it's 11:14. I can eat it. Sweet. I normally don't eat breakfast, so having to wait till 11 is not a big deal for me.
Yeah. Loving that. Loving
I
that.
figure most of this fast I'm sleeping anyway, so whatever.
There you go. There you go. So Like,
Damn, we're
yeah,
going like 2 hours.
yeah. And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm gonna have to wrap this up.
Oh, so I'm like, shit, we've been talking for another 2 hours. I'm like, man, you got nothing to do today, don't you? Damn, man.
Hey, look, what can I say? Podcasting, I've taken well to it. I don't know. Like,
Podcast king.
uh,
Podcast king.
not yet, but hey, I'm working on it. I'm working on it big time. So yes, bit by bit, one by one.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. When's the next time you coming over here? Because well, actually, that's probably not gonna be for a while because it's like pandemic first. Even though I know people, they're like flying overseas and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like I
I
should.
don't know about being on a plane, man. They just had some kid the other day where like they like taped his mouth shut or something on a plane or something.
No, they taped him to a chair because he
They
was.
taped him to the chair.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
yeah. He
Okay.
went like he was acting buck wild and stupid. It's like, yeah.
I don't know, man. Taping a kid to a chair. That's kind of
No,
crazy.
like no, the one I saw was he was a grown adult talking about, yeah, like he knows this person, that person. It wasn't a kid. It was like, yeah, like someone in his 20s. That's the person I saw who got taped to his chair. So it's like, yeah.
I'll just tell you one quick thing before we go. So, like with the voiceover stuff, I worked on. I was in a voiceover class, and the audiobooks. Basically, the rule of thumb is that if you're doing fiction and doing character voices, like if there's different characters, like say you do a demo tape, it's like I got a demo where I'm reading like 3 or 4 pages of a fiction book. So I did it for the class, and I'm like, all right, I'm knocked this out the park. So you got to do different character voices for different characters. So you got to do your voice and then different voices for characters. Me, being the idiot that I am, in this class, I had this book that was taking place in London, and the pages I was reading had like 5 different characters. So imagine that shitty British accent that you heard, and I had to do like 5 variations of it. It was not cool. I do not recommend that, not at all. Because once I got on a second voice, I'm like, this is a train wreck. This is just not good.
You're just like, hello, my name's Johnny, Ray. Hello, my name's Susie, Ray. Hello, my name's
exactly. It's like the male and female, the same voice. My name is Sadie. My name is Alan. It was bad. It's like, I definitely made a mistake with this one. I'm like, why did I pick this book? Yeah. True story. It was very funny. I don't know where the recording went. I don't want to hear it, but like,
I love it. Oh, yeah. Now, well, can you tell the lovely people how they can find you out on the interwebs, how they can get in contact?
Let me give you some advice. Don't follow your dreams. Follow my Instagram.
Wow. It's like, how can you go wrong with advice like that? It's like going, wow. It's like,
it's one to grow on. Well, there's probably someone out there like, he's right. I don't want to be a dentist. I'm just going to follow his Instagram.
This is the reason why I drink wine out of a carton now, missing most of my teeth. This
is why I buy boxed wine now, because bottled wine is too fancy. Boxed wine is so low key in a way.
Well, hey, that's all I can afford.
Don't underestimate the drawing power of boxed wine in a carton. It's like, what kind is it? Who cares? It's fruity. It's in a box.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. Oh my
okay.
God.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Oh gosh.
Okay. My social. So my Twitter is social_chef. And my Instagram is Marabito. So it's MAREBITO. Yeah. I don't have a website. Like it's almost like I know like actors who never have websites, but it's almost like you don't really need a website if basically kind of got a nice social media game, you know. That's just my philosophy. Or I just can't afford a website, which is probably.
Well,
I don't have the patience to build one. I really don't. Just, just I'm not wired to build websites. It's just go on Fiverr, like do me a website for my acting career. Fiverr. You know.
Hey, you can use Squarespace or Wix.
Yeah, Squarespace is actually pretty easy. I got a friend I manage their website. They have a horse ranch, so Squarespace is very easy to navigate. I'm very surprised at how easy it is. It's like this is nice. Pictures of horses, swap them out.
There you go.
Horses.
And hey,
Never rode a horse, but I'm like horses.
Yeah. If anyone is listening from Squarespace or Wix, hey, hit me up. I would love to sponsor your brand.
Exactly. Have it on your splash page.
It's like, yeah. Oh, damn.
You Jay-Z like big video.
No.
Okay, I'm literally gonna beat that to death. That's just a dream, yo. That's just a dream.
You have
every time I see that video, I'm like, that could be making that video.
Okay, that's it. Cutting him off.
We're gonna talk about this after this is done. You're gonna talk to your friend with this asshole.
He's like, hey.
That song's like 15 years old. What is his problem? Oh my gosh! I just need a new Marvel movie to come out. I'll be normal again.
It's like
I just need a new Marvel movie to come out.
You have been in lockdown for too long. It's like you.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, but it's just it's weird because of this Delta variant and start shutting everything down because restaurants just fully opened in New York City again because basically they're like you can't sit inside. But what they've been doing, and I don't know if they're doing that over there, but they'll like take like the street and kind of close it off and they build like kind of table settings out in the street. So you'll see like this little gazebo thing.
Yeah.
It'll probably fit like 12 tables and stuff or whatever. All the restaurants are still doing that. So, but now it's like you could sit in the street or you could sit in a restaurant. So this whole Delta thing is just going to revert all that back. And then like with Chinatown, for example, I mean, Chinatown is like restaurant fun central. A lot of restaurants have closed in Chinatown and been open since the usually 40s because there's no customers, because you know the anti-Asian sentiment that's going on and the Asian hate. You know, you go into Chinatown and older Chinese people are being assaulted because it's their fault that Corona started. You know, so you got that. So you got the restaurant suffering, and then you got the violence there. I mean, NYPD put out like probably 100 new cops in Chinatown alone. You walk into Chinatown, there's signs everywhere. If you're an older Chinese person, it's kind of interesting they don't attack the younger Chinese people, you know, because they're younger. Ass,
yeah, exactly.
And I'm not just saying this like as a martial arts thing. I'm just saying because they're younger. Like, they're literally going after the older people, you know, like. Yeah. And they have signs everywhere. Like if you want to go to the store, if you want to go to the drugstore, if you want to go to a restaurant, if you want to do laundry, you can call the number and like someone will go with you. So you don't have to walk around Chinatown alone.
Yeah.
Like, signs of that all over the place now.
I'm not surprised.
You know, the Guardian Angels are all out in Chinatown. I can't remember the last time I saw Guardian Angels in the city. I'm like, damn, they're just all up in Chinatown.
Yeah. I'm like, Guardian Angels. Jeez, that's a throwback to the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they came back and they're in Chinatown. So it's just... And even like the restaurants that were open, half of them, the kitchens were closed. So it's like we're only doing like steamed dumplings and soups and buns and stuff like that. And then the other half, the kitchens are fully open. So you can go to your favorite restaurant, like all I can get is wonton soup. Really? Like kitchens are closed, bro. COVID, you know? So, yeah, it's been very interesting. But yeah, it's shut down again.
No.
Right, let's do off.
No worries.
Then we're going to go into another thing.
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk about the Lambda variant that's like tearing through South America. We don't need to talk about that.
No, put it this way. Like, you know what? I'm going to get you on next month in September. Like it's a crime and a travesty. It's been over a year since you've been on the podcast,
Yeah.
and
Plus, I'll be more relaxed because I'm still in this play, and it's like we are rehearsing all these crazy ass hours, and it's like it's Shakespeare. I got a shitty British accent, and apparently my like I said, no one else is holding their accents. I always get singled out. Willis keeps his accent. How come you guys can't do it? Where's your accent? Like she will literally stop someone in the middle of their lines. Like, where's your accent? I'm like, oh my gosh,
we're losing in people.
like, it's okay. Like if they weren't born in, the UK, they don't have to shake or whatever.
Oh, love it, love it.
Oh
And,
gosh.
well, well, my
It's
brother,
pleasure as always.
it's always mine. Yeah. Look, I look forward to speaking to you again soon. We'll be definitely in contact over Facebook over the next few weeks. Yeah. And all I got to say,
maybe everything will be different. Maybe like I'll be on camera with a mask and a face shield. Like this shit's crazy now.
Look, if I
have my cat, my cat's got a mask on.
Yeah.
Shit. I got an aquarium. I'll just put a mask on the front of the aquarium, just like my fish is safe.
Look, I'll be very disappointed if I don't see you in a full hazmat suit with a rifle or a shotgun. That's how I got.
Dude, I got like a full like. See, I don't know if they have this over there. Chinatown's always been trendy. They actually have these face shields. I mean, you know how you see people with the face shields and everything, but because it's Chinatown, they have sunglass face shields, so you can literally get a whole face shield like mirror or blue or rose. I actually have one. It's like a smoky gray, and it's eyeglass frames, but the shield is attached to it, and it like usually stops down below your chin. So basically, you kind of look like Cobra Commander without the helmet, but like the face shield, if you can imagine that. And like you can walk into Chinatown and everybody's wearing them. It's like, I don't feel like wearing a mask, but this tinted face shield will protect me and keep the sun out of my face. It's just.
I'll tell you this. Okay, what I want you to do is take a picture of that face shield.
I'll put it on. Yep, I'll do it.
And
I'll put it on Facebook.
So I could download it and I'll put it on the next one.
Yeah, definitely. I'll throw some gang signs or my initials or just like whatever. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I haven't worn it in public yet. I've had this thing for 3 months, but I'm like, I don't know if upstate's ready for that city shot. It's all over the city, but up here you don't really see it. And, yeah. I got to rock it. Yeah.
And sadly, I have to go.
Yeah, because people probably tune out right
now. No. It's just like, hey, like it's one of those days where I've got time constraint.
I got stuff to do. I got to eat my first meal and get coffee.
Okay. Well, have a great day. No problem.
Damn, it's like 2.5 hours. Oh, good Lord. Someone's like, I'm going to watch this whole thing. And they're like, I got nothing constructive out of this shit.
and let me say this to you, my friends, my life warriors who are still with us here right now. Thank you very much. For dealing with myself and like my tired brother from another mother, all the way over in the United States. And so please, Wakanda forever. Please stay well, stay safe, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic, be all the positive bees you can be in this world and then some. Yeah. Peace. And we